Welcome back to Christian Compass, where we explore stories of faith, growth, and God's unwavering promise. My name is Bryn. I am in need of your help with growing this channel, so please like and subscribe so that I can reach as many people as possible with the Word. I believe that we could all use a little help and encouragement now and then. Today we're diving into the incredible story of Abram's call and the covenant God made with him. This story is found in Genesis chapters 12 through 17, and it's about trust, faith, and God's immense faithfulness. So grab your Bible or journal and settle in. Now let's walk through the amazing journey together. God spoke to Abram, saying, "Leave your country, your people, and your father's household, and go to the land I will show you." Abram, without hesitation, trusted God's call and obeyed. This was no small task. He was asked to leave everything familiar, to step out into the unknown, and yet Abram followed God's guidance, showing us that sometimes faith requires taking the first step, even when the path isn't clear. God made a powerful promise to Abram. "I will make you into a great nation, and I will bless you. All peoples on earth will be blessed through you." Imagine hearing that. God Himself would make Abram's name great, and he would father a nation that would bless the world. But the journey wasn't easy. Abram's faith was tested in many ways, and at one point, after years of waiting, he and his wife Sarah had no children. Abram questioned how God's promise could come true if he had no heir. But God reassured him, telling Abram that his descendants would be as numerous as the stars in the sky, a promise that seemed impossible from where he stood. To seal this promise, God made a covenant with Abram. He instructed Abram to prepare a sacrifice, and in a miraculous moment, God's presence was felt as a smoking firepot and a blazing torch passed between the pieces of the sacrifice. This covenant was more than a promise. It was a divine commitment, a pledge that God would be with Abram and that his descendants would inherit the land. So, what does this story mean for us today? At its heart, this is a story about trust. Trusting in God's plan, even when we don't see the entire picture. Abram had doubts, and yet he chose to trust God's timing, knowing that God's promises are never broken. It's a reminder that faith isn't always about having all the answers, but about trusting in God when we have more questions than we do solutions. The covenant God made with Abram also reflects God's faithfulness to us. Just like God kept His promise to Abram, He continues to be faithful in our lives, even when we might not always see the full picture. God's promises are meant to give us hope and encouragement as we walk through the challenges of life. So, how can we apply this story to our daily lives? Here are a few things to reflect on. Trust in God's timing. Just as Abram had to wait for God's promise to unfold, we may find ourselves waiting too. Trust that God's timing is perfect, even when it doesn't align with our own plans. Step out in faith. Like Abram, we are sometimes called to leave our comfort zones and trust God with our next steps. Is there an area in your life where God is asking you to take a leap of faith? Focus on the promise, not the problem. Abram faced many obstacles, but he kept his focus on the promise God made. In times of uncertainty, it's important to remember that God is faithful to His word. I'd love for you to take a moment to reflect on some journal prompts or leave a comment below if you feel comfortable. In what areas of your life is God calling you to step out in faith? What promises from God do you need to hold on to right now, especially in moments of doubt or waiting? Reflect on a time when you experienced God's faithfulness, even when you didn't understand the path ahead. Feel free to share your thoughts or answers in the comments. I'd love to hear how this story has spoken to you today. Thank you so much for joining me today as we explore the powerful story of Abram's call and covenant with God. Remember, just as God made promises to Abram, He continues to be faithful to us today. Trust in His timing, step out in faith, and always keep your focus on His promises. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I look forward to hearing from you, and I'll see you on the next video. May God bless you and guide you in all of your steps.